I didn't know what a filter was, or a pan or a volume, so I just tried every single button and see what happened.
Sander van Doorn began his career in 2004 after releasing several tech-trance hits. However, during the mid-2000s, his style has ranged from tech house and progressive house to a more vocal-driven electro-house and EDM. He became the resident DJ at Ibiza's Judgement Sunday and also at the Gallery in London, and was featured on BBC Radio 1's Essential Mix in 2006. In 2007, Sander established the label Doorn Records. The next year, he released his debut album Supernaturalistic on Spinner Records and won the award for the Best Breakthrough DJ at the International Dance Music Awards. He has collaborated with various popular artists such as Martin Garrix, Mayaeni, Dmitri Vegas and many others. Some of his most famous remixes are Armin van Buuren's Control Freak and Tiesto's Dance for Life.
Kind of started producing as a hobby and DJing as well. When I was a student, I used to play like in a small local pub in Eindhoven, and started producing on like a small groove box. Where you could program sounds and some drums as well, so that was really cool. It was kind of my first step towards producing a track. Decided to go into this industry full time. Started making more tracks on different aliases. It's like Sam Sharp, Purple Haze, Sandler, and of course Sander van Doorn. So I got my first gigs because of that as well. So from once a month to 2 times a month to once a week, and until now it's like multiple times a week. Always on the roads or in the studio. So that's pretty much the whole history. In Amsterdam called Purple Haze, and I was like, you kind of like that, got the whole fuzzy, atmosphere that also the more deeper melodic sounding tracks of mine had. So, I decided to go for that name. And to be honest, I've been producing now the last couple of weeks as well, working towards some new tracks, and also I managed to produce a new Purple Haze track. So I'm definitely thinking about reviving that name at one point. It actually was a gift from my brother. A friend of his started a shop, with all the music instruments, synthesizers, and so he came home with the groove box, and he was like, try it out. You like making music, and perhaps this is something for you. So I started messing away on it. I didn't know what a filter was, or a pan or a volume. So I just tried every single button and see what happened, and that's the first step for me producing a track. So first starting to make like remixes for myself of existing tracks like Insomnia and stuff like that. And then starting more and more producing my own tracks, started using software as well, because the thing is with a Groovebox, if you want to record a track, you're pretty much doing it live. So I needed a sequencer to make sure, on the computer, that I could build a whole track without like jumping around the whole machine trying to record one song. So started working on software. First tried Cubase, that wasn't really working for me, and then I went to Logic. It was still being produced for the Microsoft PCs as well back in the days. I think it was 5.3, and then I really started producing tracks. For me, the approach of a remix is always like, it needs to be something completely different. So the first time I had that was with Matt Derry. He had a track Nocturnal Delight, which was a completely different track than the eventual remix I made of it. And he told it in press, it's like, wow, I produced this track, and then Sander van Doorn made a completely new track out of it. It's like, wow, there was nothing I had to do about it. So that's good, that's rewarding. And for me, the approach of a remix is always like it needs to bring something new to the table. That was phenomenal, you know. It was kind of like, you know, a big reward, you know, of for me personally, because, you know, when I made the decision to go into this industry full time, you know, my parents and the whole family was like, what are you doing? You know, you've got a great job, and now you're gonna try something like that. You know, we cannot help you with that. So, you know, I really felt like I can do this, and so, you know, started producing away, and started DJing, and then, you know, got the reward Best Breakthrough DJ. So for me, that was kind of like a confirmation that I, you know, made the right decision. So it was very important for me. I wouldn't see myself necessarily producing with a hip hop artist. You know, for me, that musically is a little bit too far away from each other. It's a little bit too commercial also for me. Right now, I'm really, you know, feeling a perfect of, you know, going back to my old roots. You know, if I were to do a collaboration, it would be more with an artist like Moby. You know, it needs to be an artist with a little bit of a, you know, like a good feel in their music. It needs to have, you know, for instance, like Sigur Rós or like Radiohead. Minor chords, you know, a little bit music produced because, you know, they feel like producing that track instead of it needs to be commercial. So I would definitely go for like a Moby or one of those bands, definitely. For me, the label first started out as being a platform, you know, kind of like an extension, you know, for myself. That's why I also called it Doorn Records, you know, coming back from Center van Doorn. And for me, it was kind of like I wanted a label that was solely based on the music, you know, I liked, and at first also only for my own tracks. But you know, people heard about me starting up a new label, so started sending me tracks as well, which I really liked. So you know, that's why I made the decision to also, you know, release tracks that, you know, really fit my genre of music. And so started releasing more tracks, and I think right now we're at 270 releases. So that's a really good catalog. The genres changed a lot. You know, where all of a sudden electro-house became more popular. Progressive house changed from being the sound of John Digweed and Sasha to more like the Swedish House Mafia sound, so melodic stuff. So genres within kind of changed as well. You know, with electro-house came more like the big room house. So, you know, 3 years ago, kind of blew up also in the US, the whole genre. That also made it quite commercialized. And right now, I would say, you know, the whole industry is going back a little bit more to the old roots, and, you know, really starting to realize that it's more about the music, you know, than about, you know, selling like 10,000 of tickets and doing the same trick over and over again. So I think right now we're in a really good spot. You know, it has to be, you know, within you know, the genres I like, you know, as well as a DJ. I'm not going to sign a track that I'm not going to play as a DJ. So it needs to be a track that's, you know, I really like. It needs to be original. So it's a lot of times it's like younger starting artists that really, you know, try something different that I really like. You know, I helped them with the whole A&R process. But the most important thing, it needs to be an original track, not a copy of an existing track. I would say definitely, you know, dance music has been a big part of this decade. You know, I think in the US, hip hop is getting bigger again, you know, with a lot of trap and dubstep influences there as well. And I think, you know, the dance music is, is the whole scene right now is gonna mature a little bit more. You know, people are open more to listen to more underground music. You know, DJs like Plex, Solar Moon, you know, they're getting big high ground now as well. Just for being yourself and producing tracks that are, you know, coming from the heart and from a more underground feel. So I think, you know, that could be, you know, towards the future as well. If you start a track with a young and upcoming talent, obviously the main reason for it is because it's a talent. So, you know, he can learn from me and I can learn from the talent. That's the great thing, you know, about collaborating. Everybody has their own way of producing a track. So you learn a lot. I learn a lot from the young kids. They learn a lot from me. So it's a win-win situation. And in the process, you know, if you know, you build an artist, that's kind of, you know, part of your genre as well, then it helps you as well as you know, a bigger artist. For me personally, I really liked doing my first Ushuaia show this year over at Ibiza. It's like the crowd went absolutely insane. For me, it was the first one, so you know, I've played clubs, you know, the last 15 years, like Amnesia, Space, Pasha. Never played Ushuaia before, so you know, that in a way was special for me. And then, you know, the whole crowd was going crazy. So for me, definitely, that's one of my highlights this season.